Good morning, everyone. This is not Cursing Vermin. I'm just reading Cursing Vermin's name. Good morning, Cursing Vermin.
Morning.
This is Bikini Bro with Demon, DM22.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am very tired today. I stayed up till 2 a.m. doing emergency stuff. But I am here, and I'm a little frazzled, but I want to play some Final Fantasy 15.
Even more frazzled.
Even more frazzled. We're going to the lighthouse today.
Yay.
That's the entire goal for today is to go to the lighthouse, and we're gonna drop off Gladio at a daycare center with Core. They're not gonna get up to much. But
it's like the worst daycare center on EOS.
You know what? I think. Okay, Cursing. I know that you had work tonight, last night. So if you want to go to bed, feel free to go to bed. I think Core would be one of those kids that like takes their kids up by their legs and swings them around while they're on the beach. You've seen pictures of Thor's actor, one of the Chris's from Marvel.
Yeah.
He was playing with his kids on the beach, and some paparazzi got pictures of him playing with his
Let's
kids.
make tracks. Yeah, let's.
I feel like Core would very much be the same way, and all the other adults would be like, "Don't treat kids like that."
It gives me ideas.
Exactly. He is the fun uncle. So you missed the last stream, but we came down into this area. We did some fishing. All the items are back. What? I will not say no to this.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. And I discovered a whole new area I didn't know existed.
Like basalt rock.
Yeah. You see where the lighthouse is over there?
Yeah.
Down on that left-hand side, you see where those trees are? Sort of where the cliff face meets. You can get down there, and there's a little mini-boss. That is a giant crawfish. I was running around getting items, and I saw it off in the distance, and I went, "Hello?" And we went, and we fought it. We killed it quite easily.
Time for crab.
Exactly. Time for crab. Or in this case, crayfish, crawfish.
I think one of the best things about last winter, and the biggest distraction I had was like the Elden Ring had been released, and it was, I don't know if it was last winter or the winter before, but it was really cool being there, and like pretty much everybody was there. You'd always see like ghosts of people running around. And it was really funny watching their reactions to stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah. I love that
extremely
system where you can see other people running around.
Yeah. I'm very excited about the new game coming out soonish. So
this right here is one of my favorite views of the game. Is looking at this cliffside here with the ocean.
No cursing, no fish today. No.
Yes, fish today. We're unlocking the Vesper Pool.
Ah.
They're planning against me. They're trying to find some way to stop me. Unfortunately, their plan hinges on Gladio being present, and he's not going to be around for too much longer.
Like, okay, Gladio, put him into a chokehold and I'll string him up.
Gladio? Hey guys, I gotta go on my own personal adventure. Thank you, bye-bye.
I have to go be a man now, bye.
I'll have these guys wiped out before you know it.
Is that so? Alright, prove it.
Get back!
I have to go prove I have testicles. Oh, your PNG. Nursing Vermin says.
Oh, my fish PNG.
Your talkie guy.
My little talkie guy. That's right. I was one. Hold on. In wait mode actually lets me take my cursor off the game. Believe it or not. So that's actually very handy.
You said it.
I never used wait mode when I played. I was just on active time.
I use wait mode because it frustrates me. It frustrates me so much how long it takes Ignis to use his scan ability. Even at higher levels. It's like you'll fight something and you're like, oh, all the items I have equipped right now are... it's resistant to. And I want to know what is effective or not working
rules
against the creatures. My fish is upside down!
Yeah.
Now it's right side up. Let's see here. How do I move this guy?
Vermin had said life-altering road trip with Core. I mean, that's just getting into any close proximity with him at any point.
There we go.
Ish.
I'm eating myself. Nom 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 nom.
I mean,
I'm actually gonna... There. Yes? Yes. No?
Eh.
Here?
Eh.
Here?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Are we good with that?
Yeah.
Got the feet on screen today? Had a
Hey, I'm showing my whole ass.
my poorly drawn fish fins. My poorly drawn fish feet. So it's a program called VetoTube, and it's a PNG tuber. I'm actually gonna rotate myself because otherwise I am going to be incredibly distracted. There we go. It's a PNG tuber. So all it does is it detects a microphone. And if it is detecting noise from that microphone, it switches between two different pictures.
I'm starving.
Mouth closed and mouth open. And then it has a blink cycle built in to it. So you do 4 pictures. Mouth closed, eyes open, mouth closed, eyes blinking, and then mouth open, eyes open, and then eyes open, or mouth open.
The fish don't actually blink.
So it is.
Usually.
Oh yeah, I'm fully aware of that. If you notice, actually, if you look at the PNG tuber, it's not the eye closing; it's the iris.
But Iris
There's
is right
that.
there.
Yeah, Iris is right here. She is right here. And then, so it's 4 pictures that rotate, and then I can set it to be different states. For example, if I put in keybinds for this, so.
Herman asked, where'd you do the art? Where do you do art?
Oh, I drew this on my phone on Ibis with my fingies.
I need these.
Why are my hotkeys for this? There we go. So I have different states that I could be in. I can flip myself. I have to hold control for this, so that's why it's doing that. And then I've got angry eyes and I've got dead eyes. And those are the only states I've got right now. And then I'm usually on the other side of the screen, which is why I don't have mirror images of those.
Let's wait till tomorrow. I don't like driving after dark.
Doctor, shut up. What?
I'm very glad that they didn't make me walk back to the Haven. Prompto was like, let's wait till after dark. And then it was like, do you want to wait till dawn? Then standing 8 hours here staring at Prompto. throughout the night.
They just have a little slumber party somewhere.
Ignis is like, I'm ready to go.
This looks sweaty.
He does. We've been camping. We haven't had proper showers. So we're probably all dirty. Yeah, he's got stuff on his face. I imagine Ignis has moles, by the way. I don't know if his model actually has any, but I always feel like Ignis has like a mole on his cheek or something. But I guess
This
he
is
does.
very Nomura edition.
Yeah.
He was the one that designed these characters, right?
I don't know for sure. I do know that all of their clothing design was designed by Ronin. Ronin is a large clothing brand in Japan, and all of their outfits were designed by their fashion designers. But I don't know about their character design. I know that in the first few glimpses we got whenever Final Fantasy 15 was 13 verses, Prompto's hair was very different. And then everyone's feedback on the characters in that short were, who was this blonde guy and why does he not have spiky hair? They were like, he looks way too immature.
Oh. Huh. Herman said Iggy's moles for his prom's freckles go. Freckles. I'll pick freckles.
I think the freckles win. Prompto's got very cute freckles. I'm so glad that they gave him freckles. I don't know how much of it you're going to be able to see in this lighting, but it's actually really rare for them to do freckles on characters.
He looks so pale all the freaking time. Look at him. He looks like he's about to die.
Yeah. Which, ironically, Prompto spends a decent amount of time outside, because we know that he goes jogging and exercises outside every morning, and he works out. I mean, look at his arms. There's no way.
He's probably like me, where he doesn't tan, he just gets more freckles.
Yeah, that's true. I imagine Ignis probably turns like lobster red. I feel like Ignis gets the least sun out of these three. Noctis probably gets less sun, but he likes fishing, so he probably gets sun whenever he goes fishing.
Noctis is the kind of guy that like goes outside and he can probably like tan well, but he's like, I don't want to go out unless I have to go fishing.
Yeah. I think Noctis with a tan is pretty cool.
Gladio definitely tans. Look at him.
Oh yeah, no, he's got a tan. Look at that. Which is ironically really bad for tattoos.
Yeah. I have to get that touched up, I'm sure.
But yeah, people I know with big tattoos like that, they usually have to get it touched up once a year or every other year.
Oof.
It probably took him like 3 years to get that tattoo.
Or like a week. And he just kept going and
Who's
going.
ready to kick some ass?
He's like, I can do it.
Here we go. So, you're the one doing all the cooking.
More or less.
Gladi, don't you help? Knocked?
On occasion.
What occasion?
I do my part. I always set the table.
That's some arrangement you guys have here.
In my brain, that means that Prompto does all of the dishes. And that is just very mean of Noctis and Gladio to never help out with that kind of stuff.
They're just typical men.
Yeah.
No offense to our male watchers.
Oh yeah,
We
no.
made it.
Yeah, Ibis Paint is a art program you can get on your phone, and it's actually pretty decent. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but every art program does. And I have Procreate and Krita are things you can get on your computers that are similar art programs that are very good resources. But I don't know, just drawing on a computer with a mouse is really awkward. And I actually got a cheap stylus as a gift a few years back, and I don't like using it. I actually like using the stylus less than the mouse for some reason.
We got like a bamboo tablet. I don't remember what the brand name is, but
Yeah, I have-
really like it.
Yeah, I have a bamboo one as well, and it's really decent. It's really good, but something about it just makes me feel like I am not drawing. I probably just need to use it more. This is the area I went down last time. I didn't know this area existed, and there's crabs down here.
This one's no joke.
But there's also a little. I'm just gonna walk past these crabs. There's a lot of crabs down here. What? Also, are you okay? Oh,
Our best would be overkill here.
up here.
Okay. Herman asked if what the X or the paid version.
What it's gained inside.
I have the free version, but then I paid to permanently have the advertisement banners removed. Because you can do a subscription version that lets you.
I found it's just better to let him do his thing.
Sorry, I realized they were talking and I got distracted.
That's that. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
So long story short, there's.
Problems?
Nothing warranting royal attention.
Let me double check. I believe I have Ibis X. Yes, I have Ibis Paint X.
I'll play it by
And I pay, there's two different payments. You can pay for the monthly version that gives you access to a whole bunch of
Okay.
A-okay.
tools and stuff.
all good over here.
Or you can give them $15 and get rid of advertisements. So I paid $15 and I got rid of advertisements. And those tools that they give you, I don't necessarily need. So I'm just making sure I'm going the right direction. Looks like I am. So there's a whole bunch of rocks down here, but right down here, there's this guy. I didn't know he existed.
Whoa.
Look at this guy. He's like a mantis, shrimp, crayfish monster sort of thing. I fought him in the last stream. I want to fight him again.
It's like Dan to Dan.
Yeah, Carlobos.
Do I dare ask?
You know,
Weird.
open some
I think I've
minds.
seen this creature in different Final Fantasy games too.
Only got room for
I feel like it's an Easter egg of some kind.
Because these guns shoot to kill.
Ow.
It was in 16, maybe.
I believe it.
But I played
They
most of
reuse designs sometimes.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look at this thing. You only see it in, like, probably this area.
Well, here we are.
I like how you're like, I'm not gonna fight it, and now you're fighting it.
Oh, no, I didn't want to fight the crabs. I wanted to fight this
Oh.
thing.
getting by.
But the crabs decided to give me no choice. I'm on top of it. Nice.
Here I am.
He's master mode. I do wonder why that became less and less of a thing as more Final Fantasy games came out.
Magnus, instructions.
I think maybe they got bored of the mechanic.
But
Try this.
how can you get bored of like taming monsters and making them your own?
Nothing personal.
Well, they came up with the scan functions in some later games where you specifically have a class
Ready or not?
that scans enemies and then uses enemy stuff. But also, now that I think about it, they might have had an issue with Nintendo
Gotcha!
and taming animals and
You think it's too much like Pokemon?
Your way.
you know, the IPs in Japan
There, Prompto.
are like,
Thanks.
the copyright law in Japan is almost 8 times more complicated than the United States.
It just
Oh,
occurred to me
Furman
that this
says
is totally
he's known
like
as
King's
Carl
Knight.
Boss. He's a
There's
boss from
4 of
Final
us,
Fantasy
just like in
V.
the game.
Well, then I gotta be a 5-star
Interesting.
character.
Hell no. If anyone here is a rare, it's me.
Okay, that's
Shut
fun.
up.
I love his little colors and stuff. He's a mantis shrimp.
Final Fantasy V. Oh man, which one was that? What happened in that one?
I have no idea. I don't think I've played Final Fantasy 5 or 6.
Oh, that one was the one with Sildra and the big like dragon ship.
Yeah, I did not play that.
Unless I'm mixing that up with 4. Shoot.
I don't recall there being a big ship, dragon ship in 4.
I remember it's like one of the characters was a pirate, and they were like, "Oh, it's a guy," and then it was a girl. They're like, "Oh my god, it's a girl!"
That sounds like an early 2000s plot twist for sure.
Doesn't get any better than this.
I
I
remember
remember.
1 and some of 2, not much of 3, 4 and 5, sort of, and 6 is one of my favorites. So,
Yeah. I've heard 6 is really good, but I've never
Replenish
played
our
6.
supply of curatives.
ooh,
Gotcha.
you should play 6 and stream it.
Maybe.
Really good.
Hey,
Hello there.
I like how this lady is just casually out here selling like
Beans.
cat food and stuff. Yeah, like 20,000 gil
What the
cat food.
Thank you.
I'm not buying it, by the way.
Bye now.
That's it.
What's what?
I've come up with a new
cat food sausage?
I could taste test for you.
All right.
Huh.
You ever watch the guy that makes sausages out of like anything?
I've seen the guy that makes chocolate out of it, I think. I, as someone who took an entire college class on making sausages, I would like to see this. Though. What is he making sausages out of?
Let me just link you to his channel. I think his name is Mr. Sausage, but I can't remember right now. My husband watched.
That's an
it pretty
amazing
frequently.
name. That sounds a lot of fun, though, because sausage is kind of fun to make. It's just you got to have the tools for it.
So,
Cursing Vermin says they are aware of these sausage videos. Why are you guys not sharing your meat pics with me?
there's a meat cookie. There's
A
a
meat
century egg sausage,
Nice.
deep fried butter. Let's see what else. Deep fried cat food. Chicken orb.
Huh?
Yeah. So here, I'll send you.
There used to be this YouTube channel. I don't know if they're still around, but they would put bacon on everything, and they did a turducken. You know, a duck inside of a chicken inside of a turkey sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they wrapped each of those layers in bacon.
Cursing Vermin says, "I don't like the chocolate guy. Bikini Bros knows of."
I am aware of this. His smile is not something that you can trust. According to Cursing, he goes, and yeah, there's something fayish about him that makes you go like, you have 6 fingers. I don't think I should trust you. Yeah. So this is Cape Cayam, which is a lighthouse, which is natural considering the coastline here is nothing but rocks. So there's probably some shallow rocks out there that passing by ships have to be aware of. But specifically here around this sort of finger coming off the coast, there is apparently a small natural port, which has been used before by the Lucian family, by the Lucis Kylans. And Rhaegus has also used it before in order to get to Altissia. So we're here to get on a boat and go to Altissia. And Cape Kayam is probably owned by the royal family. This is probably like a summer house that they go to, I imagine. Probably not since the war began, but at one point. So it's a location that's featured in a lot of different sort of like fanfics and stuff. And I thought it was made up until I finished the playthrough I was watching, and I went, oh, this lighthouse I keep reading about is actually in the game. How fun. I feel stupid for not realizing that.
It is kind of a strange, like, transitioning area, to be honest.
I agree. This is Cindy's 18-wheeler here.
This to me is where the game starts to get a little, like, fever dreamish.
I agree. This is about where the game starts breaking down in plot, and so a lot of things stop kind of making logical sense, but also you start getting railroaded a lot more into the story and then funneled towards the end of the game, like at hyper speed, it almost feels like. And this is the start of it here.
You better hold your butt. If you don't, you're not ready.
Yeah, it already kind of started with a sudden attack on Lestalem, but that makes sense because we kicked an anthill and then gave it a middle finger and then walked away, and so then the Imperials retaliated by killing Jared, and so now we're moving out of that area to what we perceive to be a safe area, but I feel like this is a lot less of a safe area.
Yeah.
But
well, it's also like this is officially the end of like the road trip too.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. It was supposed to end in Golden. Prompto is slowly playing King of the Hill here with me. He's like slowly coming up this rock.
Love that show.
Yeah. Well, King of the Hill is good. It's just good. We're gonna run into Cindy here.
Lighthouse.
What say we head on up?
Ought to be a nice view, if a bit blustery.
I wish I could walk, like, at a slower pace.
What's up?
Instead of running
Hey,
away.
y'all. Recognize the purr of that engine anywhere.
Whew, you know your stuff.
So this is Cindy. Sid, her father, is coming to fix up the boat and make sure it's seaworthy. And so she drove here with Sid.
Indeed.
I wonder if Cindy will react to the flashlight like other characters do. Like Gladio here just reacted to it. No?
He's like, I've seen everything.
Sydney's stronger than Gladio, confirmed.
He's a brick.
Thanks for the
Ouch.
ride. It was fun.
How's the boat?
Bye.
Papa's tinkering away. Reckon he'll be tinkering for some time.
Trouble at sea.
I love her
Fair by the
boots,
looks
by
of
the
it.
way.
Some parts we can fix, others need replacing.
An overhaul.
Don't y'all worry. Papa ain't going nowhere till the job's done. Parts won't fetch themselves, though. Was kinda hoping y'all wouldn't mind helping out with that.
We're at your disposal.
To tell the truth, we already got a couple hands on deck. Dustin and Monica. Those two have been real swell. Managed to gather just about everything we need.
You can depend on the Crown's Guard.
Trouble is, they ain't had much luck finding a certain something by the name of mithril. Apparently the stuff's hard to come by around these parts, at least according to the little fella from the city.
Talcott?
You betcha. Sharp as a tack, that one. Could tell y'all more about the stuff than I could.
We'll be sure to ask.
Pawpaw's down on the dock. Now, if y'all'd excuse me, I'm gonna grab my tools and ski-daddle. Got a garage to look after.
Prince Noctis! Hey! Our house is over here! Right this way!
Talcott is so cute. I really like that small interaction there with Cindy, but I also like how she walks you halfway up this hill, gets to the second staircase, and goes, "Okay, I'm leaving. Bye."
Bye.
She's like, I'm not walking all the way up there just to walk down."
Mithril.
Mithril.
Sid is her granddad.
Yes. So the story with Cindy is that Sid was a mechanic at the Citadel. He worked at the Citadel, do it with cars and stuff. Him and Regis became really good friends. So whenever Regis set out on his adventure, he was like, "I'm bringing my friend with me." And everyone was like, "You know what? You're a bunch of 20-year-old somethings and this 40-year-old dude. Might as well go with you." And so, and then on their journey, they discovered Hammerhead and the Regalia. And then Regis and Sid kind of worked together to fix up the Regalia and stuff like that. And Sid began to establish Hammerhead. After, whenever the war started getting bad and Regis decided to pull the wall back, Sid did not like that one bit and then left Insomnia. He kind of was like, "Well, if you're not going to listen to my advice, then I'm not going to be around to give it."
Sure.
So they had a small falling out, and he moved out and then established Hammerhead.
Salty.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of understandable, though. Like, if your youngin' best friend is not listening to your advice and being a hammerhead, then yeah, I would separate myself from that situation as well. Because if he's not going to listen to you, then there's not much you can do but watch him self-destruct. But Sid had a kid. He had, I believe, a son who was Cindy's father. And then Cindy's parents have been killed by demons. She was probably around in her late teens whenever that happened, and then she moved to Hammerhead after that happened, and she's been living with her grandfather and taking over the garage.
No, so the Regalia actually is a relatively new car, from what I remember.
No, it's specifically in the Hammerhead lore that they found the Regalia and then fixed it up. It's like an old custom classic, I believe.
Oh, I see.
I'm
not
we could double check.
Cars, so
It might be one of those points where one Wikipedia says one thing and then the other Wikipedia says another thing and they contradict each other and you go, "Well, which one's true?" and yeah.
That's the whole Final Fantasy 15 experience, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, which one of is real, Abe?
It looks like there was a...
Did you ever watch that show? What the heck was it called? Clone High?
I never watched Clone High, no.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. It's very of its time, but the idea is like they have like certain key figures in history that they've cloned that act completely different than what their real selves were like.
Of course, they weren't raised in the same environment.
Right. So you've got Gandhi, who's a pervert, and then you've got like Abe, who's, you know, really shy and can't lead very well, and it's just so dumb.
Does this mean that people are just dumping stuff up here by the lighthouse?
Everyone's
Is this
calling these
sign
keys
here? Danger, cliff edge, no littering.
Well, they didn't read the sign.
Yeah. But then apparently these are sacks of peas. But they're also just being look, these are partially buried. They're being used like sandbags. What? Okay. Interesting.
Food.
Yeah. That's where they want me to go, so I'm gonna go there. Whee.
Yeah, I highly recommend watching the original series. It's very of its time in the early 2000s, but it's good.
Everything in the early 2000s clones. God, I remember when Tsubasa introduced their clones. Oh my god, the fact that all the characters were clones, and then it just became the Clone Wars, and then them killing each other, and then going like, okay, I killed my clone, and now I'm part of the group. And everyone's just, okay.
We've decided to start living here. Pretty recently, too, which is why it's so empty. We've decided to start living here. Pretty recently, too, which is why it's so empty.
I'm just double
Decided
checking
to start living here.
dialogue.
Pretty recently,
Okay,
too, which
thank
is why
you.
it's so empty.
Yeah, this is where the dialogue starts to fall off, because they start being more expositional than like...
I think Miss Cindy might have told you already, but she needs a very special kind of ore called mithril to fix the boat. Remember the waterfall? I read in Grandpa's notebook. There's some ruins near a lake just north of there. It said you'll find mithril inside.
I think Palkit, the biggest reason he became like a navigator in the future is just because he's really, really good with maps.
I think so too. He's also really good at looking up books and things.
My grandpa's never wrong. There's gotta be mithril in there.
This makes me so sad when you find him as a teenager and you just missed out on all that time of him growing up.
I know, right? Like I was saying in that one scene, it's just like, he's crying, Noctis. Give him a hug.
I want to learn about a lot of places like Grandpa did. Grandpa wrote a
I feel
whole
like
lot
Noctis
of
kind of
things
thinks of
about
him as like
whole lot
a
of places
little
in his
brother.
notebook. I want to learn about a lot of places like Grandpa did.
Yeah. So there's something I would like to point out about this house that has always bugged me, and that is that the exterior does not match the interior. So, sorry, Prompto. I want you to look at this house, this facade. It's got this lovely sort of boarded up look about it. Like, it's still functional, but people are making do with what they have. You know, someone clearly had fun painting all these individual boards. And there are these windows here, right, that are boarded up. There's this entire side here that has a balcony. There's a little place here for storing things. It's kind of shaped like a ship, in a way. But none of these outside features translate to the inside.
The TARDIS.
Cape Kayam, promontory offering a sweeping view of the majestic Siligan Sea. The ocean beyond the cape connects Lucis and Accordio, formerly serving as an important maritime trade route between the two countries. As relations between the two nations shifted and demons began appearing around the continent, maintenance of the lighthouse that guided ships to shore grew difficult, and the beacon on the rock shone no more. Once warm and inviting, the cape at present feels cold and deserted. The caravans that very rarely grace a seaside parking lot are usually filled with adventurous anglers hoping to catch a coastal whopper, or hungry hunters looking for a briny bite to eat. Otherwise, the cape is currently all but devoid of human activity. Yeah, so it's a dead lighthouse. We actually have a lighthouse that is still standing but no longer in operation in Galveston, which is kind of near, not exactly where I am, but enough that I have visited it several times. And it is Similarly, a lighthouse that isn't in use anymore, and but people still go and visit it. And it's sort of become a historical museum at this point.
See, we were in Galveston for a little bit, and I told Zach that there was like a lighthouse.
Yep, it's been painted black. It used to be, years and years ago, it used to have red and white stripes, but then they changed sort of what they were doing in the area, and the lighthouse was no longer needed. And they didn't want people to mistake it for an active lighthouse, so they painted it black.
Huh.
And if you take the Galveston ferry over from the mainland over to Galveston, whenever you are on the ferry, you go by that lighthouse, and you can see it from the shore. But because it's painted black, it's a little hard to see, but not impossible.
Interesting.
Yeah. I love the design of this lighthouse, by the way, because it looks like a light bulb. Or like a light bulb socket.
Yeah.
I feel like someone was like, oh, we need to design this lighthouse. But we don't want it to look like a lighthouse. We want it to look like a Final Fantasy 15 lighthouse. And someone looked aside at their bougie lamp thing and went, I know what I'm going to do.
I mean, it's practical, I guess.
I think it looks cool. I like it a lot. Because because most lighthouses are, it's a very iconic sort of like solid figure and stuff like that. But it's all open. It feels rusty. It feels mechanical, which is like what most of the world is, designed to feel like. Oh my god, the light is actually rotating up there.
Huh.
Interesting. Because I don't think you can get up there. We'll see here in a bit. Who do you think is chopping all this firewood? Do you think it's Iris?
Yes.
I can see her Captain American pulling apart a piece of wood. Just saying. Girl's got some anger issues to work out. Not in front of Noctis, but...
It's like, I'm so dainty, and then she like roundhouse kicks somebody to death.
Exactly. I like this little lamp here.
All right, here we go. What's going on? Oh my god.
Yeah. So you come inside, and all the windows that are boarded up are not there. Right? And then there's windows that you can see on the back of the house, and they're not there either.
What is happening?
Exactly. And then you see here there is an upper room and this lower room, which is probably like a restroom or something. And then there's another back room here. But you come out here.
Pitch black out here.
Light the way.
Right? Like here. There are windows here. It's really hard to tell with the light, but they're boarded up windows. That's glass. They have an ice machine back here.
This is like House of Leaves level baloney.
Yeah. And I love the design of both the exterior and the interior. But that's some egregious stuff there.
The game doesn't run, guys.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stand back here. I'm gonna appreciate the interior of this house for just a little bit. I love how industrial it feels. It feels like it's okay. I love how industrial it feels on the top with all the pipes and stuff. And then the cracked ceiling, but then you can tell that it's clearly been renovated to some degree.
Somebody had fun with the lighting in here because there's so many different lights.
Oh yeah, and they're all drop lights. Like you got this guy with like 3 little
Eyeball.
things on the side. You've got this chandelier actually doesn't do anything. They just found it in an antique store and were like, "Oh, we'll hang it over one of the 8 lights." I feel like they picked all this stuff up in antique stores and then, or maybe it stopped being used in like some other fancier area, so they're like, "Oh, just send it down here." I love it. But then you've got, there's actually going to be later on as they actually move in and settle in this area will change as they start living in it. And you've got like this cupboard system. You've got this really cool like wood burning heater. Because it has an intake that comes in and then an outtake that goes out. And then you've got the wood pile outside so you can like open the little thing here and burn it. And it would probably warm this area up really nice. You know? And then you've got this like super fancy modern kitchen.
Priorities.
You know? That I absolutely love the look of. I love the green cabinets and the like 80s fridge. You know? And then I'm about to check the radio here in a little bit. But Gladio, I love you. But can you back up just a little bit?
Oh.
You've got the stove here as well, which I think it might be gas. Because if you look at these burners here, those look like gas burners, not electric burners. And you've got like the pie rack. You've got this really cool like metal texture here with the sink and everything. I love this little kitchen. I would make this little kitchen in The Sims. Like in a heartbeat. You know?
It looks like an Animal Crossing room.
It kind of does, actually. I could see that being a thing as well.
I hope that there's going to be a new one on the Switch, too.
And considering how popular Animal Crossing was, I would be surprised if there
The
wasn't.
High Commander insisted that the late King Regis gifted him with the glaive as a gesture of goodwill before the signing, denying claims it was taken as a spoil of war afterward. With
Workshop finds, Vermin says.
Yeah.
Suspicions of the High Commander run high, many alleging he pilfered the blade after the king was slain. But official media deems this version of events to be false.
Sure.
So you mean the High Commander's left arm is completely artificial?
Yes, that's what prosthetic means. I assume he had it made while undergoing treatment.
Not just as like swaying back and forth.
They imbued the arm with Magitech, the same technology they use to power their entire nation. Technology they appropriated from an ancient civilization. The point is that the arm's not just for show. It packs a pretty punch. Pardon the pun.
Breaking news from Accordo. First Secretary Camelia Claustra spoke at a press conference earlier, announcing that Lady Luna Freya is currently in the custody of Altician officials.
I can confirm we have Lady Luna Freya in our care. The people of Accordo, saddened by the rumors of the Oracle's passing, can breathe a collective sigh of relief. Though she is weary from her trials, I am happy to report she is well.
Citing safety concerns during the Lucian peace talks, Secretary Claustra stressed the need for pragmatism in negotiating the Oracle's repatriation.
We are Xenorus.
A new development has surfaced in the story of the raid on Arakiel Stronghold. The army has reportedly seized 4 male suspects in Lestalem and transferred them to the Empire for further questioning.
Wasn't us.
Pressed about rumors of the reportedly deceased Lucian Crown Prince's involvement in the attack, an Imperial spokesperson passed them off as absurd.
Meldacio Hunter H.
At long last, the Imperial blockades of Discayan roadways have been removed. The Imperial Army has also demolished all related facilities erected around the region. The Provisional Government of Insomnia anticipates increased traffic congestion along most local highways and encourages all citizens to refrain from any unnecessary travel for the time being.
are exhibited.
High Commander Fleuret departed Lestalem this morning, having completed his tour of the Lucian continent. Occupation forces will nevertheless remain in Lucis, defending Imperial garrisons. The Imperial Army pledges to ensure the safety of Lucian citizens via strict regulation of interregional travel.
Meldacio Hunter H.
Call, kids, it's kids.
Alright. There's actually a lot of storyline you get from Ravis from those radios that I never really appreciated before. Because, you know, he's basically doing stuff in the background that no one is, these stairways infuriating me, and the fact that I can't jump in this area makes it even more so. Guys, go downstairs.
Oh.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna come out here. We're gonna pretend like we're going outside.
We're gonna act like humans, not.
I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna run up. I'm going first. Thank you, guys. Going first. Regalia Crest.
Why is that here?
I mean, because Rega stayed here.
Let's call it a day.
Soft beds, baby.
But it's a sticker for a car. So I guarantee you someone in their group probably was like, LOL, I can make vinyl stickers for cars. This is such a fun camping room. There's so many fun scenes in this. Do you see the circular window here at the end of the room? That's not outside either.
It's just... Oh my god.
Yeah. But you can see here there's like a side restroom. They've got a view of the lighthouse.
The writing desk.
Yeah.
I want it. Me.
Lighting glitch.
You ever write a chapter in like this section, you should point out that like somebody did the interior design really stupidly.
That's a really good picture of Prompto, and I'm still at 200 photos. So I can't save any of them.
No.
Oh, that's a really cute picture of Prompto as well. I say save them, I mean in game. I'm taking screenshots of these.
He always nervously does the like hold my belt.
Yeah, I'm really mad that they didn't give him like a big belt buckle. Because Gladio kind of has that. Especially in the outfit I have him in now. But the fact that Prompto does that really lets it. He's traumatized by finding that car sticker. He's like, oh god. There's lead.
Oh, I just had a dumb idea. Like, what if it's like a topless woman or something? It's like, my dad had this.
What if like Regis is the one who makes all the vinyl stickers? He's like the crafty friend that does that. And then he goes there and he finds a vinyl sticker.
Dan, why?
That's really inappropriate. He's like, oh god, my dad was a teenager at some point.
My dad had sex to have me? How gross.
How gross. I actually really like this picture.
I'll just be in
They're all just looking around going like, oh wow, they cleaned this area up. It doesn't have any dust bunnies. Alright, we're gonna have to say goodbye to Gladio.
Bye, bitch. Look at your balls. Why does he open the door like that?
Not this? Are you okay?
What the hell?
Okay, Iris first.
About that lake. Pretty sure he was talking about the Vesper Pool. I asked Monica to look into it, and she told me the road leading there's under Imperial lockdown. You'll want to be prepared for anything. So, how's that coming along?
No.
Not yet.
My grandpa's never wrong. There's gotta be mithril in there. I just know it.
Love it. Oh, look at those two. They're having a little date.
Bossy.
Yeah, definitely a date. He's taking pictures of Ignis's knees.
Whoa!
He's getting the knee pictures.
Oh, scandalous.
How forward of you.
Back at ya.
How forward of you.
Morning.
Sup?
Why was he taking a picture at that angle? What is happening?
I guarantee you he's just going through his programming and they're like, prompt us being idle. Take pictures of something. And they're like, okay. Oh, the window is outside.
Oh.
I was wrong about that then. So they got one wall. One wall they got correctly. They got a little maintenance hatch and stuff like that. They got a water pump.
The hang of it.
The hang of what?
You know,
Time to shove
looking after
Prompto in the
yourself.
sewer.
Being one of the common folk.
Well, in a lot of ways, it's easier than being royalty.
Ha 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 ha. That dialogue hurt my heart.
Yeah, for sure.
Hate it.
I actually, in the stories I write, Noctis was really suffocated by like staff and people at the Citadel, which is why he moved out.
Yeah, in my fan fiction, he just completely disregards going back to royalty whatsoever. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go live out in the country with my brother and his sister, and it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. They're like, everyone's getting magic, etc., etc. And Noctis is like, oh well,
I don't care.
I'm gonna drink this lemonade and sit at my lighthouse and become a hermit.
Right.
It's like, yeah, people go up there like, I need you to teach me something, and Noctis is like, here's your lesson. First of all, turn the rod towards the fish.
I like the idea that he like uses fishing quotes to like teach people how to do magic.
You know, it is pretty fun. It's pretty good to make comparisons to things. These ruins here have always really interested me because, you know, you have this modern-ish hand railing that's like metal and stuff. And seeing as they keep saying this is a windy area, that makes sense. Because if, like, you're in a storm and you need to walk up to the lighthouse, you want to have, like, a railing. But these bricks here... And then this feels like it used to be some sort of dwelling at some point. Some sort of, like, just circular stone hut thing. That
reminds me of, like, when I go to see forts, especially, like, ones on the beach. You kind of have, like, this kind of layout where there's a lot of, like, the fort ruins, and then there's the handrails from the modern time.
Yeah, exactly. I've been in, sort of ruins from Pueblo people. There's some areas in New Mexico where you can go and see ancient, like, what structures they built and stuff like that. And it kind of looks like this, where it gets destroyed and then reused and then destroyed again. This is Jared's grave that they made for him.
You're going to take the item off of his grave.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. Thanks for everything.
Pretty impressive that they carved that into the rock.
I agree. I think Sydney might have done it with a chisel.
Huh.
Or Sid might have. I think both of them are capable of it.
Yeah. Ah, stop.
You don't like me looking down?
Oh. Yeah.
I'm not gonna move it. I just want to look at this bridge. Interesting that there's like a little sort of ravine here. That means the water is cutting in here. You know, one thing that was pointed out to me that bugs me. I don't remember who mentioned it. Lucis only has one river.
That's weird.
It starts up here at the Vesper Pool, and then there's this giant lake down here that you don't really go to. Right? But they all feed into this one river that then splits around this island. And rivers aren't really meant to do that. They follow the path of least resistance. So they split whenever they get to like an estuary situation. But there's a whole mountain here. A whole mountain, you know? So, and then you have this sort of crater thing, but this isn't naturally formed. The gods literally tore up the earth here. And then there's not any rivers in this area.
I mean, I don't know. It's a Final Fantasy game.
I know, but someone pointed that out the other day to me, and I was
split. Berman said.
Well, it would be made by the god. What I imagine here is that the ocean is wearing away at this, because there is a cave down below this cliff that you can get to from the lighthouse. So I think this is ocean erosion.
What's your plan if your glasses break?
I've got another
Also,
pair.
earlier, Vermin had said that the arches might have been over that pathway. There's concrete riverbanks that you were walking on a couple streams ago as well.
Yes, that's the one river that splits into two. That is still the same river, and then deposits in this area. So there are 3 different areas where you can walk around the same river. So I guess that's maybe why, is because that's 3 different river biomes, because they're all very distinct from each other. Because one of them is all concreted and paved over, another is like it winding through the mountains, and then the other one is very forested. See, like up here, yeah, this looks like it used to be some sort of building here, but then they possibly deconstructed that to make something else. But then left the sort of ruins here. So the question is, what did the first lighthouse look like? Was it made here or somewhere else? Weird. Yep. This is the lighthouse itself. If you come around here, there's the most important quest of the game.
Cat.
Cat. Cat. Cat. Cat. Cat. Cat. Cat. Cat. Oh.
Where's the cat?
Where's the cat? I might need to go talk to... I might need to progress the story a little bit.
Oh no.
But there's a cat back here.
Cat. Herman said, I remember talking about some of the dam built in that area, so they built up the riverbank artificially.
Yeah. They did. And if I go to a map here. Right,
Sorry,
so there's...
I'm on your uptake here.
That's fine. So here is the Maiden Water. This is where we were the last few episodes. So all of this is sort of the forest, watery place we were in before. Right? And you can get about to this fishing spot, and then you can walk all the way up here. And then this area here is a controlled embankment. And you can see here, it's a controlled embankment on either side. And now that I'm looking about it, maybe they did that to keep the river from eroding away this area. Kind of like they did with the Mississippi River, where they redirected the flow of it. But we don't actually see a dam of any kind. It's all embankments between this fort and then this city. Why does this have an icon? And then you can't even get to the point of this island. This treasure spot is about the furthest you can go. But if you drive up here, all the way up to here, you can go into this, and this is a lot more rocky. Like a lot more rocky. Up here, and then you can come down here, and then this is where that ice cave is. And then up here, this is a waterfall. This is a natural waterfall under this lake here, which really, judging by the fact that the cave you go into here is filled with ice and stuff, means that it's probably more than likely glacial water. And then, so there was a huge glacier that melted, and then the ice was in ice caves. How ice caves form is you have a huge body of glacial water above, and then because of the runoff pulling away heat from a very cold area already, you will get ice that forms in the caves, and it's not being formed like ice would whenever it's cold outside. It's being formed slowly over time because of pressure, and it's actually still flowing. It's just in this like solid sort of liquid glass state, which is what you see in those caves and why they form those really cool like dripping formations and stuff. So the fact that they have this giant lake up here and they never mention it, and you never go fishing in it, makes me a little sad. Game devs, whenever you do an update, I want to be able to fly up there with the F-type regalia, and I want there to be a secret fishing spot. Just saying.
They're going to update it.
Yeah, it's we had the 8-year anniversary of a little bit ago. You never know.
Herman said, looking at the world map, this is a relatively small peninsula, so I think it makes sense for there to only be one river in this area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's more like it's more representation than anything. You shouldn't take these things one for one. But yeah. Because this is a whole continent. Like, someone did the math, and if you drive from this part of the map over to here, all the way over to here, and then you measure how long it takes Ignis to drive, and then you look at the speedometer and see how fast he's going, it's like that is the same thing as driving across, a large part of the United States. So
this game does make me want to go back on a road trip.
Yeah, it's the road trip Final Fantasy game. You can see Angleguard all the way over there in the distance. It looks like angel wings from this point, which is probably where it got its name.
I hope that some indie developer in the future will make a game very similar to the first half of this game, where it's just road tripping and exploring. And
I would pay money for that.
Hey, indie developers, here's an idea. Make this game's first half and just never have it be bad.
Yeah. Never have it do the things.
Yeah. I can't wait for chapter 13. You ready for chapter 13? Everybody loves chapter 13.
No one's ready for chapter 13.
Love chapter 13.
Then lose the jacket.
Oh, there's an item back. Oracle Ascension coin. Ooh. So this is the inside of the lighthouse. See, and what I find is really interesting is that what this old machinery implies here is that, say, for example, you need to service the light. You bring it down, and then you bring it back up on a winching system. You don't go up to the light like most lighthouses. They have
smart efficient.
Exactly. But they don't do that in real life because the equipment is very heavy, and you don't often need to move it. I came in here to talk to Sid guys, and your friendship blocking me from old man.
They're like, no, you can't go further.
No, you're not allowed to romance Sid. There's too much of an age difference.
Whoa.
Whoa. Niff make this time? Is there nothing you lot won't pick up? Anywho, show me the parts and I'll show you serious.
What are you talking about, Sid?
He's talking about the Noivus blaster we picked up when we were raiding the last base.
I see.
Oh. I have to unequip it? Here. Noctis. We'll do Sheriff's sword because we did the quest.
Ah, y'all brace yourself for power.
Power.
Stand up straight, boy.
Oh.
Ah, y'all brace yourself for power.
Can we get down the elevator right now? Because this elevator leads it to a lower section. I think that is the elevator. Okay. Let's all see what we've got here. We've got an electrical cable. This wiring is definitely not up to code. But we've got like a little wood stove box again. Oh, look at these trunks. These trunks are such cool assets. Sorry, I'm just looking at these things. Look at that one. That one's cool. We've seen these before. You can actually jump on top of these. Is this a jumping puzzle?
Sure.
There's nowhere to go, but... Go here. No? Okay. See, that's one thing that I wish they would have embraced in this game, is Noctis can throw an item. What was that?
Sorry.
It's fine. Noctis can throw an item and then warp up to anywhere. Why can I not just look up there and then, like, jump up there? And then have the characters complain that they can't follow Noctis.
Because, yeah.
Stinking hot.
Yeah.
Alright.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Are you leaving? I think Vermin's leaving.
Right. Yep. Vermin was probably up all night. They have a night job.
Aw.
So.
Vermin, go to bed.
Go to bed. Have a good night. Day,
Good night.
whatever time you happen to be in.
Yeah. Thing. Ardyn I.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You'll want to be prepared for anything.
Okay.
Yeah, just give us a second.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be inside then.
Fine.
It's like, go away, little sister. And she's like,
So, yeah. I'm gonna have to ask you to handle this boat business without me.
Say what?
I got some business of my own to deal with.
fly solo for a bit.
Sure, bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him go.
Bye.
Do your thing. Not like we could stop you anyway.
You know me too well. Well, see you around, guys.
Okay. Have fun.
Have fun. Gladiolus left the party.
Who's Gladiolus? All I know is Gladio.
Why is he getting XP? We only have 3 people in our party right now. Who's this guy hawking all of our XP? That was 300 apiece, 200 apiece that we could have divided between different areas. The lighting glitches are real in the pictures today.
Lighting glitch, the game.
He looks so grumpy to be out in nature.
Aw, he's happy. It's just, that's his happy face.
It's his happy face.
He's happy. God, my husband's like that too, where, you know, he's like, I'm happy, and then
he doesn't look the grumpiest face ever. Like, I'm happy, I'm having a lot of fun right now.
It's the tism.
Yeah. Prompto, where are the pictures you took of Ignis's knees?
Stop. He deleted them. He was too embarrassed.
He saw us taking them, and Noctis was like, I want to see those later.
No.
And Prompto was like, nope, nope. Delete, delete, delete.
I don't need anybody to know my weird fetish.
I wonder if knees is a fetish. Like, I know that feet are a fetish. It's someone somewhere probably has it.
I unfortunately had an experience where on DeviantArt I found somebody who was attracted to knees, but only if they had like certain proportions to them, and it was very strange.
Yeah, that's fine. They can do them. That's not a me thing.
People are in armpits. I'm saying this as this lovely cutscene is happening.
Yeah. So we know that she's an Altisha.
Those shoes make my feet hurt.
I know, right? I wonder if anyone sells that brooch.
I would imagine.
Etsy developers, get on it. That's a really cool looking brooch.
Jesus, Gladio, how long were you gone?
The cave was right around here.
That means the lake should be somewhere north of here.
Be wary, though. Where we go, the Empire seems to follow.
Why did it take them days to get here?
I think they needed just a day to, like, sit and process everything, you know, and not be on the road constantly.
Wait, what happened to under Imperial lockdown?
They all but turned the key and left the gates open for us, as if awaiting our arrival.
And if anyone's waiting for us, I bet it's that guy.
Chancellor Izunia.
Why did they start me not having to drive the car, and then now suddenly I have to drive the car?
Not to mention we're a man down. Would that the Marshal were with us.
Oh yeah. Whatever happened to that guy?
As I understand it, he's put his tomb raiding on hold to help the hunters take care of some troublesome beasts.
No rest for the immortal.
What are you doing?
I'm watching Ignis in the back seat. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Whee!
He doesn't have Gladio anymore to cushion him.
Exactly. No, they started off the thing, and I wasn't in control of the car, but then suddenly they gave me control of the car, and that's why the car stopped, is because I didn't know I had to be in control of the car. And then my ADD brain went, but will they let me turn around? My goal right now is to crash this car.
No.
I'm not going to, but it's like the demons inside of me want me to. But the demon I'm on Discord with doesn't want that.
I'm a good guy. I think that representation is important, and we need to change the devil and the angel to be on the other sides of the shoulders.
No way through.
I'm sorry, my ideas are much better than most of those flippy, flappy, winged, feathered bastards anyway.
Doubly cautious.
Right. No Gladio, no room for error.
You know, that is very true. Is Gladio is like the tankiest out of all of us. After Gladio, it's literally just Noctis having to be the tank.
Maybe they should get more meat on them.
He's got muscles. You just can't see him.
Never miss.
I tell myself every day. I still love how really badly designed these robots are. Oh.
I know, right? You just tap their ankles a little bit, and then they go down like a Victorian lady who's been living in an arsenic poisoned house her entire life.
I mean, we were talking about like how like weirdly, I don't know, like when we were talking about the alien designs, and I was like, you know, if I were nature, my preference would be for 4 legs, because that seems the most like
load bearing, efficient. Yeah.
These developers for this show in the 2000s were like, everything on this planet has 2 legs.
Yeah. I mean, it is one way to make your world feel unique. Oh, I got on top of a rock. I'm happy.
I suppose.
Victory.
Yay. I mean, it's not like there weren't creatures that, you know, proprietarily had like 2 legs. Like, obviously there was the T-Rex who, I don't even get...
There's actually like a what's called a tripod fish, and I believe it has like 2 elongated whiskers, and then it will like stand on there, and then with its tail, it kind of like has it kind of will like face the currents, and then that's how it chills. I'm not an expert on fish.
Think Gladio will be back anytime soon?
Would help if we knew what he was up to.
Okay. I'm just running around this area because I know I'm not going to stop here later.
I do wonder what, like, it would look like if, like, certain key species had developed more than, like, we did. Like an octopus or, you know, elephants or something.
I think octopuses are developing, like, right now, because back in 2016, there were some marine biologists in Japan going like, hey, so we got octopuses that are using tools as weapons, and there's definitely like a gang war going on right now between these 2 groups of octopuses.
That's amazing.
And that's because resources in their area were getting scarce because of overfishing. And so these octopuses started teaming up with each other and then fighting about it. Which, you know, if that doesn't scream the beginning of some sort of civilization.
Yeah, our downfall is going to come from the ocean. I know it.
Yeah. Where is this item? Is it up here on this rock?
The only problem octopi have is like they can't live outside of the water yet.
I've heard that they're really big escape artists. This map is lying to me. They're saying there's an item in here, but there's not an item in here.
They can live for short periods of time, but not like extensively.
I don't know. I would have to look up how long
Wonder what Gladio's up
octopuses
to
can
right now.
be.
Meeting girls, probably.
Son of a bitch!
The one just straight up curse in this game is from Prompto, and I love that fact. They're like, we're gonna let this kid have one swear.
He's allowed.
Yeah.
He's frustrated. He wants to go boink, boink.
He's been looking at his he's been looking at his Sydney pinup posters way too much.
Well, he's also surrounded by a bunch of men consistently, and
yeah.
As much as I like the idea that Prompto's probably bi, I don't think he prefers men.
Yeah, I could see him. I honestly think that Gladio reads very strongly as bi, and like confidently so.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd be more concerned about who the partner is than their gender. And I read both Noctis and Ignis as asexual or just generally uninterested.
Yeah.
I think Noctis has...
to different degrees.
Well, yeah, I think Noctis has, like, demi-romantic or whatever that is, where he has to, like, really know somebody.
Yeah. Which I, as someone who is demi, I really identify with that. Because I can't date or be in a relationship with anyone unless I've known them for like a minimum of 3 years as a good friend.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that too.
Yeah. And then I just don't think, I think Ignis, if he was like, what?
Ignis, I don't know, his legs.
You've never seen him jump over the thing before? No. He does it so dramatically.
It's
like
disturbing.
Yeah.
Stop it. It's like a creature.
He does it every time. He doesn't walk up and jump over it either like a normal person. Like Prompto does it kind of normally.
It looks so weird. I don't know why. His legs are just so spindly.
That man is 80% leg.
Yeah.
Like,
out. Stop it! No, Prompto's doing it. Prompto and I always joke that Prompto and Noctis have more of a relationship than Luna and Noctis do.
What's the forecast?
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
With the temperature rising.
Nice.
Although Noctis is more like, yeah, we're just best friends, and Prompto's like, I'm going to do bad things to you.
Oh yeah, no. I don't think Prompto would do anything without consent, but I feel like those have definitely been in a situation where they were having moments with each other.
They got a little too drunk a couple nights.
Oh, can I get a pic of that place, please?
Please.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no to the.
Do whatever Prompto wants. That's my Bible in this game. Do whatever he wants.
Yeah. Now, like how we get halfway across the really long, really narrow bridge, and Prompto's like, I want to go down there, where there is clearly an exit to go down there further on, but Noctis is like, nah, I'm gonna do a U-turn on this really narrow road.
Because he can.
Because he can.
I'm
not in control of the car right now. My hands are off the mouse and wheel.
I don't know. I had a friend who was a cisgender male who played this game, and he was very much like, the friendships in this game aren't very realistic. And I was like, that's because
you don't have friends.
You're toxic masculinity talk.
Yeah.
Like you could be close friends with people that are men, but you just decide not to.
I make a lot of jokes about the characters in this game being in relationships and stuff like that, but this is genuinely what good friendships look like.
Just guys being dudes.
Just guys being dudes.
Should be a nice change of pace.
As much as my yaoi heart likes the fan fiction,
That's part of, in my opinion, that is part of the appeal of yaoi fanfiction, is that because of toxic masculinity, girls don't get to see guys just being dudes with each other. And they really want them to have good friendships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then it gets to a point where it becomes a fetish.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so this is the Vesper Pool, which is a really fun area for fishing and stuff like that.
It's a jungle.
It's a jungle, and I love it. It's at a higher elevation than most everything else in the game. And they're like, oh, you know, usually in other places, whenever you go up to a high elevation lake, it's cold. Nah, it's gonna be a jungle.
So it's actually funny. So kind of in Xenoblade, so I don't remember what exactly happens. I don't know the transitionary area, but like you go from literally like this ice cold mountain and then all of a sudden you're in this jungle and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It happened.
And I think the elevation of the jungle is higher than the...
This rock looks like it belongs in a turtle tank.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Right? It looks way too perfect to be realistic.
I love the...
We're in the golden hour. This is gonna be a good picture.
I want to go back to the swamp and look at the mangrove trees again.
Mango trees are so pretty.
This lighting's no good. Maybe next
What?
time.
No! Prompto! It is literally the golden hour.
Do it again.
Take a shot from here.
It's like the perfect picture.
Oh, this lighting's no good.
What the hell?
Maybe next time.
It's the clock in the game telling me that it's evening and they want to take it during the day. Is there a haven around here?
Yeah, it's kind of by the car.
I don't remember where it is. Is it off in this direction?
Yeah.
Because there's like 2 havens around the Vesper Pool. You know what? I have chocobos. I can't all
Didn't mean to do that.
Oh god, we're in a foreign country. Oh, never mind.
No, it's because I could crouch next to a rock. Okay. There it is. These real wisp column things are really useful. I'm so glad they added them in the game.
See, Slowpoke!
It's like, when you play Red Dead Redemption 2 and you see those smoke pillars, it's like, it could be something either really good or really bad.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna camp.
Let's call it a day.
I'll see what I can whip up.
While you are camping, I'm going to go revive myself as well. I need to use the restroom and grab a snack.
I also need to do the same thing, so I'm gonna have them eat. Let's do one of dumplings. I'm actually gonna be making dumplings.
It was Chinese New Year, so
yeah,
it's not gay.
I'm gonna go restock my drink and then get a snack, and then I will be back.
Okay, dokie.
Alright, I'm back. So, I muted you because I am a very clumsy person and I make a lot of noise whenever I get up and down.
I understand. I'm eating, so I'm kind of gonna be in and out.
Okay, fair enough. You said, oh, it was Chinese New Year's earlier. You should make some dumplings and stuff. I'm like, I have some microwave dumplings. So I'm also got my lunch, and that is what they are. They're not like the most luxurious things, but they're actually pretty good. They are better than any dumpling I could make. Let me put it that way.
I've pan-made dumplings before, and it's a pain in the ass.
It's so much work. You have to chop and then blend up everything so much, and then you have to make it and then the dough and stuff, and then stuffing them.
Well, I don't make the dough. I buy it.
I don't know anyone who makes the dough themselves.
I got pickled popcorn, cheese, and a cranberry chocolate banana mix.
You have pickle popcorn.
Pickle popcorn.
I've never heard of pickle popcorn. That sounds like it would taste delicious, though. It would be like a salt and vinegar sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. I got it at Aldi, so.
Okay.
We're good.
He's so happy driving his car.
Oh, look how happy he is.
Look at how happy he is.
I love Noctis. He's such a dweeb. Ow.
Hey, this one's pretty
He's
good.
just standing there.
I need it too.
He looks like
Ignis looks like he was like, I'm gonna go stand over there, and everyone was like, why? Because he had to fart.
Oh my gosh! For some reason, it reminded me of Did you ever play Not play. Did you ever watch Billy and Mandy?
Yeah.
There's an episode where there was like a picnic they were having. And it's like Bigfoot just suddenly takes Billy for whatever reason. It goes Fraggle, Fraggle.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
But that's what it reminds me of.
So you know how I was running over that rock looking for that item?
Hey, isn't that...
Isn't what?
Just my imagination.
It looks like
that item that wasn't on the ground that I didn't pick up because I didn't see a pickup signal.
Oops. Well, now we know where it's at.
That's a really good photo.
Run.
Oh. Was looking at the rock. Oh, it's raining.
Feeling refreshed.
Well, the tent lets you
We're
stretch
having
out
a weird,
bit more.
like what the boomers call seasonal shift, which is just
now.
you know, winter's not winter anymore, basically, and we're getting like handfuls of 60-degree weathers among like 30-degree weather days this week, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh. They say it's not East Texas if you don't experience all 4 seasons in one day. So it's being like really cold in the morning, and then by the afternoon it hits like the 70s, and then it drops back down.
It's weird.
I just realized something. We have this quest to go take this picture, and Prompto's not going to want to take it if it's raining.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I'm gonna go back to bed.
We're going to sleep in the camp all day. Sleep in the tent all day.
Huh.
All right, I'm starting to munch, so I'm gonna mute for a minute.
Okay.
Feels so sluggish.
Indeed.
Thanks for the ride.
We'll meet again.
Take a shot from here.
Good call. Now it's picture time.
I wonder if Prompto is one of those people that makes everyone stand like in a specific area, and then he takes forever to set up just for a picture. That's cute. That's a cute picture.
Feels really naked without Gladio, though.
It does. We can Photoshop him in later.
Every time he's gone for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If Gladio were here, he'd be right here.
And like, do it badly. Make it to where it looks like he's standing, like hovering in the water.
It would be really funny if Prompto was great at photography, but he was like the worst at trying to do Photoshop. Oh, it's a water lily.
I could definitely see that. Prompto not being good at Photoshop. It takes a lot of patience.
Just a dip.
When it first came out, I used to know how to do it.
I actually took a journalism class in my high school, and 90% of that class was basically learning Photoshop. Because she would have us set up pages and then compose pages and stuff in Photoshop. And then a lot of kids in my grade were like, man, there's no fun electives where you get to like learn how to do Photoshop or use computers or anything like that. I'm like, take the journalism class. They're gonna teach you a little bit about
Remember, they're just a scared of us.
you know, making newspapers and stuff like that. But trust me, it's all there for you to have.
Yeah, just like somebody on Tumblr posted the other day, like, there is called a reading comprehension class in English.
Yeah.
Nothing to it.
You know, actually pay attention.
Yeah. Actually, pay attention to your high school classes, guys. You'll learn a lot of the things you want to learn in them.
Your brains are still developing and spongy.
Yeah, so it'll be easier for you to understand and learn new concepts. Because once you get to a certain age, learning stuff gets to be hard. My bio break page is
don't be like Demon and try to be an artist at 32.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. Like, I have really good, what's that called when you can picture things in your head?
Mm-hmm.
I have that really, really well, but then translating it to anything but a writing medium is like torture for me.
I spent all last year basically learning how to use Ibis Paint on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I like I said, I've taken a journalism class, so I know how Photoshop works. So this is such a pretty lake.
Yeah. I wasn't able to do the tablet quite yet, but hopefully soon.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I've been able to do digital art for a good while. It's just, if you give me a pen and paper, I can sketch out what the image in my brain is pretty good and in a pretty quick amount of time. But I prefer how my digital art looks. But my digital art is slow and painstaking, you know? And it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy. So I wasn't drawing for like 2 years because I was like, I want to draw.
Remember what you wanted to be growing up, Ignis?
My childhood aspirations.
Yeah, no need to go into depth, really.
Okay.
Hostiles on your right.
That was weird.
Yeah, that's a weird dialogue. Especially because Ignis doesn't give an answer, but then the way Prompto responds is, I'm about to make everything in this water regret life.
Last thing I knew now. Eyes peeled, mouth closed.
Oh, I'm in the water. Oh no.
Your friends?
Yes, I did.
Why is there friendly fire in this game?
You know, that's a really good question, especially considering, like...
Because, like, In my fan fiction, my perception of it is like they cannot physically hurt each other. Like they can still slap each other and stuff, but like trying to pierce each other with like weapons or magic, they wouldn't be able to do it because of their connection.
Yeah. And there's a item you get that I actually have equipped. Oh, I don't have it equipped. It's on Gladio.
Oh no!
Oh no! I forgot to take Gladio's equipment off.
Oops.
Well, friendly fire is officially on. Gladio is no longer here to protect you guys.
Oh
Literally. There's an item that basically protects them from your magic. But that doesn't count if they're in water. If you use electric or ice magic and you're standing in water, everything is affected double by whatever is considered in the water. And if you have that little sort of armband thing on it, it doesn't count.
That's fascinating. What is that? Is that a cockatrice?
Time to show you what I can really do.
If I only had a gill for it.
Pull down my pants.
Pull down my cock.
Yeah.
Those things gave me such a hard time in Final Fantasy VI. Like, I literally couldn't even finish the game because I kept going into the area and forcing like with them, and I couldn't beat them.
Never fear, Prompto's here.
Actually,
no one missing. Nice guy.
There's one link straight on a baby chicken. I feel. Oh no! Oh my god! There's so many enemies in this area. What in the world is going on?
I don't know.
I can summon. I can summon the gods.
Oh. Summon!
Summon! I'm tapping it. I'm holding it.
Hello.
I need help from the gods.
Hello. Chicken, fried chicken. Fried chicken. Hello, anybody?
Why is it not letting me summon?
Love the controls in this game.
I'm gonna come here to options. Keybinds. Where is the summon? Summon.
Alt.
I'm gonna change this. Oh, ooh. I'm gonna change it to Alt. I'm gonna change it to
F.
I'm trying to change it to /, but it doesn't want to do that. There we go. Okay.
Let's try again. What?
I'm trying to. I want to see, because we have a high chance of summoning.
Like, not working.
Why is the summoning not working? Oh, so I'm holding it right now.
Alright, who is this?
I had to hold it for like 6 whole seconds.
I feel like it's mostly Ramu.
Ramu is the most common summon. But if you're in the Vesper Pool, there's a chance that you'll summon Leviathan, but I guess I don't have her yet.
You don't have her yet. Dang. I didn't even know you could summon her outside of one time on the train.
You have to be either at the lake or here in the Vesper Pool.
What's what?
I've come up with a new recipe.
I've come up with fried chicken.
Fried chicken. Roasted chicken.
Really, what inspired you?
Look at how demonic his eyes look.
Yeah, they're, for being these holy gods, they kind of look scary.
Right.
I think that's part of the appeal. Is that say, for example, there are 6 gods in this world. You know they exist. You can literally point to the giant dude holding up a meteor in the middle of the country.
Wow, the color's amazing.
Right? And then go like, that is a god, you know?
Right.
And then all these people decide to make a city on the ocean on what they know to be one of these gods' nests, homes. And then they're like, I need to wake this up in order to do holy ritual stuff. And they're like, you're gonna destroy everything. Like, everything. And they're like, and it's just like, then why did you decide to be
Not
there?
to mention Leviathan's like one of the worst of them because she just
Yeah.
completely fucking hates humans.
Yeah, and she like, you know, she doesn't like humans. You know, she you know, is like the wrath of the sea embodiment sort of thing. And it's like, it doesn't even feel like they
out here is poisonous.
If it were, I imagine we'd know by now.
Unless that was the Empire
Well,
talking
you
and
can
going,
never be too
hey,
safe
these
outside
gods
the city
aren't as
walls."
strong as they
Yeah.
seem like they are.
I mean, to be fair, Versatile did basically kill Shiva without Ardyn's help. Like, that happened before he picked up Ardyn.
Kill, quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote. I think what makes a god different from, say, a giant toad creature is the fact that if you kill them, they don't die. They just come back in a different form. You know, and then they have mods. They're the moderators.
Indeed.
You know, they have access to the commands and can do different things.
You're saying that they're just in a video game
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
That's no way.
I actually have never really seen anyone come here into the Merlewood. I've never seen this area in playthroughs.
Huh.
And stuff. And I think it's just because until very late game, you don't get any sort of quest to come here.
That was a
That
weird
does it for
glitch.
the
Oh, never mind. That's a... That's a...
It's a bug! It's a very big bug that doesn't like my,
Outstanding.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that wasps are pollinators, but I'm still a little wary around them.
You should be. They're one of the biggest threats to, like, if you are attacked by a dog.
Me? Yeah. Can't stand them.
Same here. Icky.
If you're attacked by a dog, what do? You pick up its leg and you break its leg. As much as I hate to say that, right?
Yeah.
But you can grab it, you can hold it, and you can break its leg very easily. If you get attacked by like a big cat or a bear, you can scare them off. You know?
Stab them.
Or stab them. You know, we've hunted entire woolly mammoths to extinction. And stuff like that. You know? Humans can deal with certain things. The reason why people are scared innately so much of bugs and wasps is because they can hurt you and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you're just gonna be slapping yourself.
Hunt is on.
And what is attacking?
Also the thing about wasps is like, I got stung. I've gotten stung like 3 times my entire life, and I always feel like, you know, no matter how cautious I am around them, they always can sense it.
Yeah, and they're gonna sting you. You know, so your brain is hardwired to go, no, I'm not going near that thing.
Go.
Right.
They're so jerks too.
It's if a human was up against 100 bears versus 100 wasps, I'm pretty sure the wasps would have a higher kill rate than the bears.
This sure looks like it leads somewhere. You think there's something in there?
Well, and like people aren't usually allergic to like bear claws, you know, relatively speaking, but like venom from this thing you can be getting allergic to.
There's not much you can do about it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why Shadow of the Colossus is a realistic simulator.
Wow. This place is a jungle.
Abundant in not only flora, but fauna as well.
I really wish, I know they remade that game, but I almost wish they would remake it again.
Do we want to try and do this without Gladio, or do we want to wait for Gladio? I think we wait for Gladio.
Let's wait, yeah.
I did want to get the entrance on the map. Let's wait for Gladio without. We're not gonna do
Colossus.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Did you ever play Shadow of the Colossus?
It's time. Just keep it short
and simple.
No, but I have watched several playthroughs.
Really good.
It is really good. I really enjoy Shadow of the Colossus. I personally, sometimes I don't play games because I know they will frustrate me.
Oh, really?
And I would get. I think some of the climbing mechanics and stuff, like I would be one of those persons where it's just like, oh, you just need to climb up him and then you need to stab him and then you need to do this, and I would be cursing like a sailor the entire time, going like, I can't do this. It's being frustrating. This is the 8th time I've tried to get on top of this bull.
It's a puzzle game.
I know.
Whoa! Never saw one of those before.
Step too close and it's the last.
I have. You just saw them not too long ago.
I'm not gonna.
See how it tastes.
We had like 8 different groups of enemies there. There were Mushus, there were cockatrices, there were the chickatrices. Like, that's why whenever it was like, you can summon a god, I'm like, yes. Oh, this guy can paralyze us.
Everything cool?
Hold 'em steady.
Final Fantasy X, when you get like petrified and then get attacked and then your character's just gone. I love that mechanic.
Oh yeah, I remember that being a thing.
Every time that happened to me, I would just like stop playing the game because I got so mad. You can't even put a person in where they die either.
Yeah. The Final Fantasy X-2 has the same issue. If you don't have something to get rid of petrification, and then where all of you guys get petrified by the RNG, you're dead, and there's nothing you can do.
Right.
Right. That's why I hated fighting the Malboros in that game.
I've come up with a new recipe.
Malboros are
And the sandworms.
They add a bunch of like status effects on you, and then you're just fucked if you don't get the right ones.
Are you aware of what beholders are in Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
Malboros were actually based off beholders for Dungeons and Dragons.
I believe it.
And so they were like, oh, there's this weird tentacle thing that just sort of like gives everyone its status effects. Yeah. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
It's fun.
Like, okay, what's your like when you see it? Like, what are you like? No, I'm not fighting that thing in Final Fantasy. For me, it's either the Malboros or Berries.
So I have a weird sort of mentality whenever it comes to games, and that is that so long as I'm not like dying over and over and over again, it doesn't really bug me all that much. And I kind of like the challenge of by the way, anyone who doesn't know, you can cut across the entire Vesper on chocobos. Like, you don't have to worry about. There are also some secret fishing spots out here on the lake. But if you're ever over here and want to go over there, you can just cut across the water and avoid it all.
Neat.
Yeah. We're going back to the
But yeah, you just see any enemy and you're just like, okay, I'll try it.
Yeah, I'll try it, and then if I can't kill it after like 6 or so times, I'll go like, okay, I need to back off and do something else.
Yeah.
There's like
For some reason, Thunderings always freak me out. Like, I just get really nervous around them. I don't care. I'm like, I don't want to look at you.
You know, that's fair. I can see that being a thing. They're kind of freaky. I think the one enemy that really was like a big no for me was in oh, I don't remember what it's called, but it was Final Fantasy X.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the desert. There's like a giant sandworm thing.
Oh, you mean the one that you can yeet off?
Yeah, if you're high enough level. I didn't know you could yeet it off until I saw the memes like years and years later. Why is it not letting me get off the crystal?
Now, those things are kind of rough to fight, though. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
lie.
and I was just like, if they show up, I'm running. I'm not looking for.
Honestly, sometimes the captors are like that too. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to do this with the needles.
Isn't Cindy the best?
No.
I mean, she searches high and low for all these rare parts for us to use.
Very great.
She makes us search high and low for them, Prompto.
And more the regalia.
Safety first, everybody.
Like
prayers.
I don't know if you've played Final Fantasy VIII, but the dinosaurs are notorious for being like terrible things to fight in that game.
I've never played that. I didn't know they're dinosaurs just straight up.
So in the Garden of Balam, I believe is their like base that they use, like the school that floats around the continent essentially.
There's a like a dinosaur. They have Jurassic Park.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's notorious for being very difficult because it's like at the very beginning of the game. You know, you don't have very many party members. And this thing can eat you whole. It's kind of really hilarious to watch, but it's also very frustrating.
Yeah, I can see that being frustrating. There's in Final Fantasy X-2, there are iron giants on the Besaid Island, which is the first area, and you can farm them for materials, or you can just not get your ass kicked.
Right.
Howdy, Hurry Poyo!
Hi, Poyo. We're talking about difficult enemies in Final Fantasy games and what we prefer not to fight. I was just telling Bikini about Final Fantasy VIII's dinosaurs. If you've ever played Final Fantasy VIII, Poyo. Which I wish that they would figure out how to save. You know, the reason they haven't remade that game is because their code was completely deleted.
Yeah. They would have to make... They would literally have to, like, have someone play the game, which they can't do because it's no longer supported on any systems.
Come on.
So...
Break time!
And stuff like that. But they would have to have someone go through the game, record all the dialogue, and, like, script it and stuff like that.
Boy,
and then...
Video game preservation.
Yeah.
Shall we camp here?
And it's really sad because everybody's like, oh, Final Fantasy VIII isn't that good. It's a good game.
It's a very good game.
I love Squall. I don't care anybody who says that Squall's a bad... Everybody who says Squall's a bad character, I'm sorry, you didn't play the game.
Yeah. To eat one of Gladio's favorite foods while he's gone. Make him jealous. I actually want something that's gonna give me resistance against petrification, if I have it.
And unfortunately, Final Fantasy has one of those fan bases where it's like, I feel like if the characters aren't completely acting like characters from Final Fantasy VII, everybody's like, this character isn't developed well.
Yeah. There we go. Prevents poison.
Like,
the thing, every time, so I didn't get into Final Fantasy 15 the first time it came out. Because every review I ever read said that Noctis had no personality. And then within 3 minutes of actually looking into this game, I was like, I was literally looking at character models because Hurry Puyo gave me a fan fiction and I was reading that fan fiction. and I really got into it. And I'm like, I don't know what any of these characters look like. And it was a Core adopts Prompto fanfiction. So I looked up Prompto and I went, oh, he baby. And then I looked up Core and went, who in the world messed up your character design? You look like nothing like the character is supposed to be. Right?
Right.
And then I was looking up the other characters, Noctis, etc., etc., and then I was looking up their outfits, and I'm like, why is his casual outfit literally just him in a fishing vest and waders and stuff like that? And then I learned he really likes fishing. I'm like, what do you mean this character doesn't have personality?
He's got the Kingdom Hearts fit going on.
Not even. He dresses like me whenever I go fishing.
Aw.
Oh, that's a good picture of him.
Oh, hello, Sassy.
Hello. Yes, I would like those dumplings.
Dumplings. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
He looks
I feel like Final Fantasy VII's remake has really kind of added so much expectation for new, like, especially like, I don't know. I just feel like there's just so much of it.
The thing is they didn't need to do all that work. They could have give that picture to Luna. Oh, I'm full on photos though. I can't delete.
Oh.
She's telling me to give this one to.
Why? Because he's giving him bedroom eyes?
Yes. It would be hilarious.
Here's my best friend.
My best friend. I'm actually gonna. I usually any screenshots I take, I try to.
Meanwhile, Luna's going, "Oh my god, why didn't I get with that guy?"
Why is Ignis on Silo Blossom?
Glitch?
Yeah, he has a gray one. Look, the texture on the bottom of Noctis' shoes.
Ooh.
The forbidden lore.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to shit on Final Fantasy VII Remake more, but it's not a good game in my opinion.
I think Final Fantasy VII is a good game. I think the remake is overhyping it a lot. I always have felt like Final Fantasy VII is a little overhyped, but mostly within the context of a lot of the people who played it for the first time have nostalgia about it, and then they get angry whenever you tell them that they have nostalgia.
And it's like the original Final Fantasy VII had a decent intent, and I just honestly
Its storyline was good. Its characters were really good. It was the first time I'm aware of that they killed off a character like Aerith. And then
they almost killed a couple characters off in 4, I believe, but that was fake out.
Yeah, it was a fake out. And so a lot of people thought Aerith's death was a fake out, but then you get the full 3D glory of Sephiroth stabbing her.
Well, and what kills me now is like that's almost like the expectation now for Final Fantasy games. Like they've done that ever since then too. Now, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I guess 10 doesn't really.
This rock has a face.
Rock that looks like a rock.
The rock that looks like a face rock.
Hang on, I have to send you that YouTube poop. It's so funny.
From Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Send it to me.
Gravity Falls is one of my favorite YouTube poops of all time. We quote it constantly. No, I just feel like it's been a big thing in Final Fantasy games since then, and it's like it doesn't need to be. Like it's okay, we can have a Final Fantasy without a character dying now. Thank you.
I can't get off this chocobo.
Like the biggest problem I had with Final Fantasy 16 was it was just not well developed. Like the world seemed empty. There was so much exposition. There was so much focus on things that weren't important. It just was so all over the place.
Final Fantasy 15 has a really large, really interesting world. Final Fantasy 16 wants you to think it has a really large, interesting world, but it doesn't. It's all very one note from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, that's what made me sad about it. Was I think I couldn't even finish it. I was just so bored.
What in the world is going on here? Hello,
And I
are you guys
shouldn't feel bored?
Are you guys on a date?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
How is Lestat?
I know I shouldn't feel bored playing a video game, especially an expensive AAA game that I literally bought a PlayStation 5 just to play at the time. Or so.
That is like such a typical reaction. She's like, what are we supposed to do without power? How are we going to like cook and do laundry and stuff without power? He's like, I don't know, radio still works. Like, dude, she's gonna dump your butt. She said, what is Lestalem supposed to do without power?
I mean,
I don't understand. Yeah.
The storm's supposed to be like, I don't know. I feel like if there's an apocalypse, which obviously there is in this game, that's where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
I mean, they've essentially built themselves up to be like pretty self-sufficient, so.
Crappy weather. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just
We'll meet again.
there's a lot of like mainline series games that I haven't quite been satisfied with in the last couple years, like Final Fantasy.
I feel like
Zelda. Like I'm gonna say something and everybody's gonna hate me, but I don't really like open world Zelda games.
I agree. I can see where that's coming from. I had a lot of fun with them because they were open world, and I really liked the fact that you were able to explore stuff. But it feels like now every Zelda game is going to have that expectation, and then the second they don't, it's gonna be people.
They had an Echoes of Wisdom game that came out, which was pretty good, honestly. It was decent. It wasn't like my favorite game in the series, but it was decent, and it did go back to form. So I think they're trying.
Yep. The Zelda games have always been about open world exploration, though. So whenever they first built their main two franchises, Nintendo had Mario on one end and Zelda on the other. And the original Zelda games are all about open world exploration. And the Mario games were all about linear movement.
Easy now.
It's a platforming game that moves linearly, right? But then you get to Super Mario 64, and Super Mario 64 has all of these small little worlds that you can explore.
Yeah.
And then it's still very much platforming, but it kind of gets a little muddled.
Well, and you could do it in any order that you pretty much wanted within reason, too.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay, I have a question. Why did they never put DLC for that game? And why didn't they ever make a sequel? I'm so confused about that. Like, literally, we've gone years without any Super Mario Odyssey content.
So, I don't think Nintendo is investing in the DLC sort of spectrum. I think they looked at that and they went, that's a bubble that's going to pop. And we're big enough to keep doing our own thing.
What's really funny is it's like Xenoblade technically has DLCs, but they're their own games. That's how big they are.
Yeah.
So when Nintendo does do
kind of like The Witcher. Yeah, kind of like the Witcher franchise. You know, whenever they do a Witcher DLC, it is
dreary day.
basically just another extension. Like, it's another game,
you know,
of The Witcher.
Again, recently.
What?
I really want to play Skyrim again.
Yeah, Skyrim is really fun.
But I know, but I'm like, I'm gonna get caught in the dumb loop of like, I'm gonna do all the quests, and I never do the quest.
Let's go.
I just load up my old Skyrim games and keep running around them. I never started the file. I think I have the same. I think I have the same Skyrim file I have from like 2012, and I've just been running around on that.
I wish that I heard that their base game was really bad.
No, it's actually really good. It's really good. Everyone is saying that game is bad because they did not expect it to be a Bethesda game.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who went to go play that game was not going in with the reality that it's a Bethesda game, and they were
upset because of glitches or something.
So, what's the game that came out that had all that really good dialogue and intricate like world stuff and was like super popular for a good amount of time?
I have no clue because
everyone. Let me put it this way: everyone was comparing it to Baldur's Gate 3. Yes. Baldur's Gate 3 came out. It had amazing dialogue. It had all these character interactions. It was specially customized for you to be able to roleplay in it. And then everyone went to go play the new Bethesda space game. And they were like, wow, this is just Fallout in space. They never advertised the game as anything but Fallout in space. They gave us Fallout in space. I mean,
Thanks for the ride.
I think you can do melee builds, and then you do have magical powers that are like shouts, in that game, and it's a really fun game, and you can play it in so many different ways. You can play it as an economy game where you open up a galaxy-sized business where you just farm stuff and then make stuff and then make money. Like, you can do that.
One of these days we should have a Stardew stream together.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fun. Anyway, no, for some reason, I don't know why, but I've just never been a big fan of the Fallout series. It's not my vibe.
Exactly. If it's not your vibe, you're not going to have fun with that game. But there is a shipbuilding system where you can customize and build your own ships. Every vendor on every different planet sells different parts. So there's a whole part of shipbuilding that is finding the rare parts in different outposts and buying them. If you go into a build menu at a shipyard, you can only build with what parts you bring and what parts they sell.
It's really funny because one of my friends, when I was asking about like what they thought my aesthetic, like, you know, the feel was, one of my friends said robots and sci-fi, and I was just kind of like, I guess, but it's mostly because of Xenoblade, and that's very vaguely sci-fi.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny. Oh, it's the old man Yowie.
Old man Yowie, yep. I'm trying to find the front of this Vesper Pool area, and I am lost.
Read through that when you finally get all of it?
Whenever I get all of them, I will read through it. I can't read through it because right now.
What are we thinking?
Something edible, I guess.
Really?
Oh, really?
You guess?
I'm not guessing this situation.
Me too. I feel
just
that.
Like, there's some nights where it's just like, oh, what do you want to do for dinner? I'm like, I can put Nutella on toast, and you can have that. I'm not hungry.
Yeah. We're supposed to be making... I think I'm gonna make a salmon and some sort of veggie medley on the side, but I'm not really sure how to make the veggies right now.
Propose a way to finish this faster?
Well.
Agnes!
I think I'm just gonna toast them next to the salmon.
Here I am!
That sounds good.
Yeah. I don't know why I've been kind of craving some fish.
There's nothing wrong with that. I had
my biggest problem with like thinking about playing Baldur's Gate 3 because I really want to play it is I know once I start playing that game I'm going to be so addicted to playing that game. That's the biggest problem with that. And right now is not a good time for me to be addicted to playing a game because I'm really trying to get through writing 2 novels at the same time.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. Whenever Baldur's Gate came out, I saw how much time you could invest into that game.
Sorry about that.
What in the... Oh, Invisible Chocobo!
Whoa.
We've got it on its last legs.
Let's put it out of its misery.
Swift and painful.
It's dead.
Yeah. I'm aware. It was dead for a while.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. No, yeah, the time investment is what scares me too.
Yeah.
'Cause
Okay.
I unfortunately know that I'm one of those people that when I get invested into a game, that's all I freaking think about.
Oh yeah, no, I've been like that way with Satisfactory. Like, I'll be sitting there and I'll be like doing dishes, and imagine Wii music playing in the background. Do 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 do. My brain is just sitting there going like, how can I fix the storage system so it's not so broken?
Yeah.
How can I design these buildings that I'm making so it actually feels like Insomnia?
Okay, do you have dreams? Or you played the game too? Because anytime I'm playing a game for a long period of time, I will have dreams about it.
Yes.
How is Lestalem going to survive without power?
Oh, you guys are the head of the trailhead.
Don't know.
I've been running around lost for the last 30 minutes. Why are you guys here? Why are you going on a date here?
They're stuck. Yeah, it's away from people, I guess.
I mean, but the whole Niflheim army is literally just right over here.
Well, I mean, it's hotter that way, I guess. I don't know.
Fair enough.
They're teenagers in love and they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, unfortunately, I just kind of have an addictive tendency towards, games that require a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was like playing Paper Mario, the first one with my extension pass I got.
Yeah.
I was having dreams about that game. And it's like that game's not even that like high stake.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I kind of like the original.
There's like a path that goes around the back of the Vesper.
I kind of like the original Paper Mario more than Thousand Year Door, but that's just me.
That's fine. You're allowed to have preferences. And those preferences are allowed to be wrong.
I know. I mean, Thousand Year Door is good. If I play the remake, I might change my mind because I heard they got rid of a lot of the annoying backtracking.
This is about to be nighttime. I'm going to return to Rest Point.
Also, Origami King was one of the best Paper Mario games ever. I don't even care. I know it's a puzzle.
All the Paper Mario games are good. I don't think there's been a bad one.
Sticker Star Saga was really bad.
What in the world is Sticker Star Saga?
It was on the 3DS.
Oh, that's why I've never heard of it. I didn't own the 3DS.
But yeah, the first one's good. Thousand Years Door is good. The one where you turn into like a 3D, 2D.
Yeah.
Is good.
One of my favorite things in Mario Odyssey is whenever you go up to one of those pipes and you go in the wall on Mario's 2D and he doesn't question it. He's just like, okay, this is what we're doing now, and then it's just like, I'm going the wrong way.
I think there was one on the Wii that wasn't very good either, though. The one with the paint bucket. I can't quite remember. Color Splash.
I heard a lot of people had fun with that.
It was fine.
And then Color Splash led into. Can I just
Origami King?
Last thing
Origami King.
Mouth closed.
Which, oh my God,
Splatoon.
They went so hard on the music in Origami King. I'm like, what am I listening to? I honestly think that's like 50% of the reason I really like that game is because its soundtrack kicked so much ass.
Oh yeah, music's a good third of the expectation here.
Yeah. It does make the puzzle solving a little bit nerve-wracking though sometimes.
It's stress.
It's close.
Yeah. I also like the way they made the bosses in that game all like office supplies. That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, no. I remember the Splatoon 2 DLC whenever you're collecting these parts for this mysterious machine that will be the thing that is literally just a MacGuffin. And like, you get the first 2 parts and you're like, this feels like it looks kind of like a blender. And then you get the 3rd part and it's definitely turning into a blender, and then they're like, yes, whenever we get this machine, we're going to step inside it and ascend to the heavens. And you're like, oh, God.
I don't know. There's something really charming about making an ordinary, like, everyday object into, like, this villainous, evil, you know, thing, or, like, very misinformed about it, essentially.
Yeah, the brave little toaster vibes.
Or Pikmin. Yeah, Pikmin does that a lot too.
Yeah.
Have you played through the Pikmin games?
Yes.
We'll meet again.
Ah, I love them. They're army simulators. I had to explain that to somebody the other day.
They are.
It's so funny.
This is Ardyn's car. We've seen it before. It's Smelly Man.
Smelly Man.
Smelly Uncle. I noticed on my other game, whenever I was looking at this, there's papers in his seat here, and they were there before, but I was, whenever I was looking at it before, even if it's raining, Ardyn's roof will be down, and World of Eos, Blue Sakura on the Final Fantasy 15 Discord server, has been using Ansel to pull image files and things like that. And so the people in the lore section managed to get that document.
Okay.
And it's not legible, but it's laid out exactly like a car rental sheet of paper might be.
Huh.
So that has led some people to develop that whenever Ardyn is like, oh, this is my car, I care a lot about it. But it's got leady plates. It's got this sheet of paper here that looks like a rental. Whenever it rains, he leaves the roof down. Bro's just renting a car and not...
Here's my observation about this. Where did Ardyn learn how to drive?
Oh, I imagine several Niflheim lab assistants died teaching him how to drive. Because Versatile is too smart to get in the same car as him.
Because he's from a completely different time. Like, they didn't even have cars. So, like, how does this asshole know how to drive?
Also, I would like to point out, he drives safer than not. He's like, no tailgating, we're not speeding. We're going at a good pace, but you know, don't get off ball on my grill, and don't get ahead of me because then you're gonna get lost.
I do like that the rental car is the same color as his hair.
Oh yeah, it's very him. And also another thing is, we know Prompto canonically is bad at driving. So what if Versatile is bad at driving? What if Ardyn became a good driver because Versatile sucks so much at driving.
Oh, do they even have cars in like the Niflheim Empire?
That's a good question. And there have been people that have boundary broke and then they fly around the Grayla thing, and it's literally skyscrapers stacked on top of skyscrapers. It's like there's not a whole lot of room in there, and then everything's stacked on top of each other, and then it literally, like, there's no bottom to the city. It just falls into an endless void.
Oh God.
So
maybe it's like a walkable city.
And the AU I'm currently building, it is actually incredibly walkable, and cars exist, but they are rare, and most people use public transportation, even nobles. Like Versatile, whenever he was prompt his age, I have him going to a library and stuff like that, and he just leaves his home and then goes to go he basically takes public transportation the entire way. But he doesn't consider it beneath him, because the entire city it's all levels. There's like, each city block is just, it starts at the bottom and it goes up, and like noble families are, how many city blocks do you own?
Yeah.
And each of those city blocks is sort of like its own sustainable industry.
It could be like that
stuff.
It could be like that one weird city in China where like you think you're on the ground, but you're not.
That's exactly one of the inspirations I pulled from it. The other one is also Edinburgh, where they built up like 13, 14 story high towers and with wood. And then it all burned down eventually, but then they would build vaults in between those cities. And so you would have like people walking below you, people walking above you, and stuff like that.
Bridge, yeah, where you lose the regalias full of cars in Gladio.
Which is really funny because you drive in on train tracks. So it's not a car bridge.
Question mark.
I don't know. We'll see whenever we get to that point.
Yeah,
but
at that point of the game, it starts kind of getting really blurry for me because I think I'm just like so
depressed.
Yeah.
Acid weather.
Totally.
Okay, so here's the Iron Chef recipe. So that means Ardyn's a fan of the Iron Chef Old Man Yowie. Just saying. But once we get all of the Iron Chefs, we'll read them. The problem is that one of the first books you find is like the ending, and I feel like it spoils it. You know? Because if we have here,
where can you find your documents from?
Archives, and then if you come here to dossiers, oh no, it's not data log. Yeah, so there's a cosmogony almanac, which is where you find the location stuff. Chronicles.
We're only missing one.
Yep. Few files. I found this one.
Only one more chapter until we get to read the Yowie guys.
Until we get to read the Yowie guys.
Where do you find the last chapter?
I have no idea. I would have to look it up.
Oh no. You better do it before we go to Altissia if we can.
And the last book might be in Altissia though.
Oh.
Okay. So my goal right now is to pick up that item before Ardyn bubbles me. Because good lord.
I see him.
Is this thing gonna bug me?
See him. See you. Hello.
We got it. Okay.
Are we gonna have enough time to get through this dungeon?
That's what I think we're going to go ahead and do the intro scene stuff, and then we will save the actual Vesper Pool for next time.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
But I'm almost wondering whether or not we just go fishing for the last 20 minutes.
I guess so.
Let's go fishing.
Yeah, fuck Ardyn.
Fuck Ardyn. Fuck you. We see him. We look at his car. We look at Ardyn. He makes eye contact us. We flick him off and then walk away.
Easy now.
You know what? If we had just done that to begin with, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's an AU where they were just like, huh, that guy was weird, and then they never...
Who was it I was talking with the other day? Was it you I was talking with about how we see Ardyn in everyone's DLC except for Gladio's?
I think so.
Yeah. So if you notice, you see Ardyn in everyone's DLC. He's prominent all over Promptos. And then he's the final boss at Ignis's. But then you don't see him in Gladius, and that's because he's here whenever where's the fishing dock, by the way? There it is. Birds, bobbers, and stuff.
Thanks for the ride.
What are the temperatures like outside right now? I wonder if I can take a quick walk after I'm done with this.
I'm gonna reel in a monster.
This is 53, but I don't think so. It doesn't... I don't know.
Welcome.
I mean, that sounds good enough to go for a walk.
Yeah, I probably will.
Here you go.
Gotta bundle up, though, because I get a little chilly. Ah! Must be really
spending all my money on fishing bobbers. Don't mind me. We can actually probably sell. Stay still.
Yeah, I can manage well between, like, I think 60 degrees is usually my, like, okay, I'm not super happy with this, but I can manage. My ideal temperature is like between 70 and 86, I'd say.
I don't know, really.
Here you go.
What my let me if it's below 50, I need a jacket for sure. But then there's sometimes I walk outside, I'm like, oh, this is nice, and I'm only gonna be out here for like 10 minutes, maybe less, so I don't have to worry about it. But if it is but then if I'm going out, then I need gloves and everything. But it's Replay says
I didn't want to deal with the blast from the past with Gilgamesh.
fair enough.
Man,
I feel
all over.
Yeah. He's got a history, man. He's like 2,000 years old, but to be granted, he spent most of those years locked up in a cave. So
well, somehow he fucked with Gilgamesh, and then he fucked with the girl.
Yes.
Ice lady.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
He existed as like demon shadows,
Maybe. Anyway, what was your ideal temperature? I'm sorry.
I don't remember. Like 70s to 90s.
Oh.
I really enjoy summer weather more. There's a point in the year where I walk outside and I go, I don't have to brace myself against the cold. And then it's hot and sweaty for the entire rest of the year. Is there a way I can fish this up without
Oh, it's heavy.
reeling? I wonder.
Oh. Sorry, I just saw a really cute picture of garden eels fighting with each other. Garden eels are such interesting little critters, and I love them.
I don't know what that is.
But you don't know what a garden eel is? Okay, hang on.
I'm hearing garden snail, but you're mispronouncing snail. So I don't... Like E-L-L-E?
Eel. Like
a not snake eel.
Yeah.
Where in the world are you in the world that has eels?
Our aquarium has them.
Oh. I've never seen an eel in my life.
What? Have you not gone snorkeling before either?
There's way too many jellyfish in the Gulf of Mexico for me to want to go snorkeling.
Yeah, scored big.
And I know what eels are, and I'm not saying they can't be cute.
Yeah, we've always...
They're little tubes that stick out of the ground.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
How fun.
Straws.
Like straws. You can slurp them up.
Probably don't taste very good.
Get yourself a little protein snack.
Ah, no.
It'll be a little crunchy, though.
We've snorkeled quite a few places and we've always gotten to see eels. They're very weird. I love them, but they're very strange. Apparently, there's not a lot of scientific information about how they reproduce.
I heard about that. I heard about that, and that's because they have like more than 7 different life stages.
Yeah.
And part of that confusion was they weren't realizing that the fish and that the eels in fresh water were also the same eels they were catching in the ocean. Because they're like, and then it's like, in modern technology, it's not easy to stick a tracker on them.
The manta rays were kind of similar for a long time too. Like, they're definitely getting more information about them now.
I think for an eel, because of how much they shed and then change around and then stuff, you would probably need to like implant one.
Yeah.
Into it, which is very invasive for the creature.
The eels they use for sushi, which I believe are river eels, are extremely delicious.
Here we go.
We got catfish.
Catfish are good too.
Catfish are good. They're bottom feeders, but
bottom feeders are usually pretty yummy.
Fry them. Just make sure you clean them first. Make sure they're cooked all the way through. Oh man, now I want some catfish.
Eel sushi, nigiri is very, very yummy. I love eel. I like it better than steak. I'm not a big steak person, honestly.
I love steaks.
Not a fan.
I have maybe whenever like I want to treat myself like once every like 3 months, I'll get a good steak from the local butcher and stuff, and then I will marinate it for 3 days. And then I will, what I'll do is I will salt and pepper it, like, and then tenderize it. And then I'll wait just like 10, 20 minutes. And then I'll grill it on either side. And then put it in the oven for the rest of it, until however cooked I want it to be done. Because rare steak is nice, but it's not my favorite thing. I cook mine probably medium well, to where it's just a little pink.
Yeah.
But
I don't steak, so I'm not really.
Yep. And then I usually won't eat the entire steak in one sitting, of course, because they're huge typically. So I will I'll set some aside, and then I can like have little steak bits that I can cook with like eggs, or I can shred it and do tacos, like steak tacos.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Like my big delicacies are usually sea creatures, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, the eel's really good. Crab.
My mom does not like fish, so I don't really know how to cook fish properly. I feel like sometimes, like I can cook it, like I'll like salt, pepper it, cook it on a grill, maybe add a little bit of lime or lemon to it, and then I will usually eat it with rice of some kind. But I feel like every time I'm cooking fish, that I am cooking it wrong in some way.
I think a lot of people.
There's a spider. There's a spider on my desk. It's a little wood spider, and he's fine, but he scared me. Oh, he's moving.
Was it a jumping spider?
Yeah, we have little jumping wood spiders.
Those are kind of cute, at least.
Yeah, but he's on my desk. Okay. I think we're ending the stream here. I've been invaded by a spider.
Hooter!
What are you doing, my dude?
What's it doing? Is it just looking at you?
So we have one office with 2 computers, and my boyfriend had he also streams, but he has a green screen and does like camera work and stuff like that. So my desk is facing one way, and then his desk is facing perpendicular to me, but away. And then in between us, we have the green screen. So I can actually be on my computer when he's streaming. I'm behind the green screen, just not making noise. And it's on the green screen.
It wants to be famous.
I'm gonna send a picture of it to you guys because he's actually really cute. He's a little.
I really like jumping spiders. They're kind of adorable.
I can see how people think he is adorable. These things are adorable, but I am terrified of them, especially whenever they're here. I have to play with arachnophobia mode on game.
I'm not making fun of you, I promise. It's just
I'm only scared of spiders whenever they suddenly appear. I'm gonna leave him be. He can exist. Where's my Discord to you?
I did want to ask you before we left, are you a charcoal grill person or are you a propane grill person?
It depends on what mood I'm in.
Wrong. The answer is charcoal. Oh, he is cute.
Yeah, he's a little cutie. Pin for reference. He's about the size of the tip of the pin.
Oh, he's a
little jumping. He's a little jumping wood spider.
Yeah, jumping spiders have been noted to be intelligent. They actually do watch you and like mimic you if you keep on as a pet.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah, they're pretty smart.
He's probably watching me right now.
How can you play games?
He came for the fishing.
I was hoping to see something epic.
Came for the conversation about food. He's like, I like to eat lies.
Well, the thing is I went to go drink from my flask. Well, I say flask, my like mug, and I did that, and then something on the green screen moved.
Aw, he's just there. He didn't mean to surprise you. I feel the same way about like I don't mind snakes. I actually am not like one of those ew snake people, but like I definitely will say if a snake scares the shit out of me, I'm gonna react appropriately. Like I'm not immune to being afraid for a second of
You're not immune to being startled.
Yeah, like but then after I know it's there, you know, at least I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, it's just a snake.
My mom is terrified of snakes, to the point that my one day whenever we decided to play a prank, we put like a rubber snake underneath the sink cabinet and stuff, and we all got grounded. It was our dad's idea to do that. It was April Fool's, and we all got grounded, including him.
I used to, so for some reason, my mom's basement was really poorly made. So somehow snakes got inside the basement, but just that part. So my mom would send me down and grab the snakes out of the basement. And they're just little garter snakes. They wouldn't hurt you, but I learned very quickly how to handle them.
Yeah.
She was like, you like these things? I'm like, I don't particularly, but okay.
Yeah.
Snake handler.
Yeah. Have you seen those videos of people like putting bottles or baskets on top of cobras?
I would never, like, we saw a rattlesnake when we were in Colorado, and I was like 15 feet away from it, and I was still like,
Yeah, you know how dangerous those things are. We have what are called water moccasins in this area.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty much guaranteed to be near any water with high grass in our area. To the point where
What the hell is this thing?
some people will some people who aren't maybe from the area, like they're the ones who get bit by that. And the hospitals in the area are no longer required to carry their antivenom.
Why?
And I don't. It's insane to me that such is the case. So it's like anytime anyone new to the area or anything is like, oh, let's go for a hike. And we're like, yeah, let's go for a hike. And they're like, oh, no, I wanted to go in this area that is water. And we're like, no, not without snake boots and stuff like literally leather, what you can put on leather guards.
Isn't there anything
that hook onto the bottom of your boots, kind of like spurs do, but then they go all the way up to your lower knee, and they're called I think snake garters. But a lot of people will wear them in this area to keep out ticks as well.
Oh yeah,
that's a really pretty bluegill.
Oh yeah, Poyo said that hognose snakes are fun and cute. They are, but they're really pathetic too, because like literally every time they get scared, they're just like, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. Ugh.
Yeah. There's a YouTube channel called what's it called? But they opened up a snake zoo.
This asshole.
Stuff. This guy, you don't like him?
No.
Why don't you like him?
He just has that grumpy dad look. Look at him.
I think that's the point, though. Like he's not. Did you know that in Comrades, the Comrades DLC? So Comrades is is basically an extension they did for this game, where you can play with other people and then you go on hunting quests and stuff, and then you can customize your character. Did you know that if you go to the coast near the lighthouse and in Comrades, and down here by this fishing spot, Navith will be there. And he's basically sitting there going like, I'm catching as many fish as I can so we can salt them and preserve them as the sun's going away and stuff like that. And he goes like, it's a shame, but I had a really good friend I met right before everything happened. His name was not Garth, and he seems to have gone missing. and he genuinely is like really sad that Noct isn't around.
No.
And stuff. I love the fireflies in this area.
Yeah, I didn't even know Comrades was a thing, to be honest with you.
I didn't really know it was a thing either. And then some people on the Final Fantasy 15 Discord server were like, "You need to load it up and you need to play this." I'm like, I've been addicted to MMOs before, and I don't want to go down that road again.
I never actually got into an MMO. I'm gonna be honest.
It's a light MMO. It is. You don't run around a server and you don't see other people. You queue up into a lobby, and then you guys drop into the mission, and then there are quests to do. Iris has like a whole fashion quest, and she basically gets really into repurposing old clothes and fixing them up for people. So you get materials for her, you get stuff for Sydney in order to like bulk up Lestalem for the long 10 years where there's not going to be any sunlight. You get a lot of lore from Comrades that's really interesting. Whenever Luna does the stuff during the Leviathan fight, she wakes up, quote unquote, all the kings of yore And
Oops.
all the glaives get their magic back.
Oopsie.
And so you fight as a glaive with that magic to do stuff.
Weird. Huh.
Yeah, so there's a lot of lore in Comrades that isn't in the base game, and all of it is revolving around what happens when Noctis is on the crystal.
Interesting.
But I
released it as a main game.
I don't know when they released Comrades compared to the main game. I only learned that it existed like 2 months ago, and I've looked at it, I've seen it, it's buggy. But Squeenix still has support out for it, so you can still, as of this moment, go and play games. I'm not gonna play it.
Fascinating.
As fun as it would be, it's not something that I could play and then not get. I don't have time for it, essentially.
Yeah.
Just like you were like, I can't play Baldur's Gate because I'm gonna be stuck playing that.
Well, I will play it eventually. It's just gonna take a lot of willpower.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a whole group on the Final Fantasy 15 Discord server that grind stuff out and do stuff together.
Huh.
And the character customization is very fun because you unlock custom things as you go. And then you can dress your character up as glaives and stuff. And then you also get a lot of lore with Libertas. Libertas sends you on missions and stuff.
It reminds me of Red Dead Redemption 2 online. I think there's like a whole side story with that too. And it's just like, I never was interested in playing it, but apparently there's some pretty interesting things there. Oh. Hi.
Hi, Gigiana. Is he on Silent Blossom again?
Yeah. What the heck is happening?
I don't know. He's... Have you seen that fan art where they're graffitiing his car?
Yeah.
This very much feels like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god! They're there! They're graffitiing it! In front of a chocobo and everything!
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Spent enough time jumping around Ardyn's car that Prompto took like 5, 6 whole pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pictures. Alright, let's go ahead and do the
Just about.
Ascension grid. We're trying to focus on the combat grid just a little bit. Just so that we can flesh out everything we can do.
Ugh.
So if we come here to combat, I think we're gonna grab aerial step or warp strike damage. I think warp strike damage.
Yeah.
I like focusing it on enemies with warp strike. So, and then we'll go ahead and save the rest of the AP for next time. Yeah.
Out awake.
And then we're gonna go ahead and go here. We're on 9.
Hooray! We survived another gaming session.
Yay!
Hooray!
Next time we'll go through the Vesper Pool and talk about Solheim quite a bit, I imagine.
Yeah.
Well,
next time I'm complaining about Square Enix.
Next time. I don't feel like that's the only thing we do. So I have to double check something.
Let's go.
He's on a purple chocobo.
Why is it blue in the pictures then? Lighting glitch.
I'm gonna say it's a lighting glitch.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Face off. I'm waiting for... There we go. I'm waiting for Noctis to look forward so I can take a screenshot of this. Okay. I hope everyone here has a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.